You're now listening to America's newest true crime comedy podcast. Death and Entertainment starts now.
The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
Live from Los Angeles.
Hooah! Here we go!
This is exciting, isn't it?
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Hello. What's going on, everybody?
Hi.
It is 7 p.m. Do you know where your deados are?
They're here.
Right here. What's going on, guys? Happy Tuesday to you all.
It's a beautiful day in Los Angeles. It's still light out.
It is. Yeah, I think I'm the only person that actually gets more depressed the sunnier it gets. I like the dark.
I do too, actually. On a cloudy day, I spot them black clouds.
Yep.
It starts to rain a little bit.
Yeah.
Oof. I get so excited. I just can't hide
Have
it.
to stay in. There we go. What's up, Tiff? How are you? Yeah, I guess we got enough people here, so why not go on with
The show.
the show.
You're really building this
Gonna find the
up.
transition there. Oh, here we go. First story of the day. It is unfortunately a celebrity death here. Let's get this up.
A lot
All right.
of good movies.
Yeah, R.I.P. Zack Norman from Romancing the Stone, Cadillac Man, and The Nanny. He was 83 years old. Yeah, he was second fiddle to Danny DeVito?
No, actually, Romancing the Stone, that's a Robert Zemeckis film. Starred Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner. She was a writer and paired with a swashbuckler Michael Douglas, and it's like an Indiana Jones type adventure set in the then modern era.
Yeah.
And yeah, Danny DeVito is the sidekick.
Oh, gotcha. 83. Born Howard Zucker on May 27, 1940. He performed as a comedian through the latter half of the 60s, working at the Playboy clubs, the Flamingo, and Copacabana with the Temptations.
Wow.
It's so crazy to me, like all the comedians back in the day used to be like crooner, like lounge acts with, well, not crooner, but like lounge acts with like actual ridiculous bands and singers.
Well, yeah, the music and comedy could merge so flawlessly.
Yeah.
Nowadays, people don't have the attention span for it.
Right. One thing that I didn't realize was that he was actually born in Boston, Massachusetts. So R.I.P. to a real one. They said he made about a half dozen films in the 70s before working on a pair of memorable 80s films. He had a small role in Milos Forman's Ragtime. Good old Milos.
Yeah, director of Man on the Moon and People vs. Larry Flint.
Yes. And then he was cast as Cousin Ira in Robert Zemeckis' Romancing the Stone.
Yeah, and Danny DeVito is an antique smuggler from Queens. And that, yeah, he plays his cousin and partner in crime.
Yeah.
We have a clip from that, actually.
All right, let's get to it.
This is his catchphrase in the clip.
Yeah.
Look at those.
Okay.
Look at these snappers, will ya?
Roll it again.
Beautiful bean footage.
Look at these snappers, will ya? Look at those snappers, Ralph. Look at those snappers, will ya? Thank you. Snappers.
Snappers.
Snappers. Look at those snappers. Oh, we're getting close here.
Okay.
Come back here, Ira! Jump, Ralph! Jump! I can't swim, you know that, Ira! I'll come back for you! You promise? I'll come back for you, Ralph! When? Soon! Soon! Very soon!
I didn't know Danny DeVito could run.
Yeah. Well, not fast enough. Apparently, he got left behind. But
Romancing the Stone made $115 million in early 1980s money.
wow.
And Robert Zemeckis says that the success of it led to him making Back to the Future. So there would be no Back to the Future without Romancing the Stone.
Wow. That is crazy.
Yeah, they had a good chemistry, didn't they?
Yeah.
Zach Norman and Danny DeVito.
Absolutely.
What other movies did he do? He did...
Robert Downey Sr.'s 1986 comedy America.
Wait, hold on. Robert Downey Sr.?
The oft-forgotten Robert Downey Sr.
He was an avant-garde artist, correct?
Well, he was something.
And Norman appeared in Cadillac Man with... Oh, okay, I'm connecting the dots. With Robin Williams and I believe Fran Drescher.
Yeah.
And he was on The Nanny. So they met there and she brought him on The Nanny.
Mr. Sheffield.
So that was a good gig. Led to another gig.
There you go.
I would love to have been on The Nanny.
Absolutely.
Make her laugh. Wow. And he was in... Well, that's it for the known movies.
Yeah.
But that's okay. A lot of good TV.
Yeah.
The Flash.
He was
not the one you're thinking of, though. From 1991. Baywatch.
Yeah. Jaglom. I didn't know there was a one-word director.
Wait, what?
He had a long collaboration with filmmaker Jaglom.
What?
With Venice in 1992. He appeared in 9 of Jaglom's movies, including Festival in Cannes, Hollywood Dreams, and Ovation.
Ah. And was he on the show Jag?
Maybe. Jag off. Also was involved in more than 20 stage plays. So he was a real actor.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people say, is that you got to go to the theater to be a real actor.
And that's where it's the most fun. Actors are so pompous, though.
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke always says, I don't even count movie acting.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even get to act till I go to the off-Broadway theater in New York City.
Yeah. You have to be in the theater.
You have to feel the pain.
Yeah. A rare person that is from Boston that also went to Harvard. He graduated with an executive MBA from Harvard Business School in his 60s.
Wow.
So he was acting and was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go get my master's of business.
Yeah, that is rare, isn't it?
Interesting. Yeah, a lot of people.
Did you know anyone from your neighborhood that
No.
went to Harvard?
No. And if anybody did, then everyone I know would be like, you think you're fucking better than me, dude? Because you go to fucking Harvard and I don't? How do you like them apples? I'll just beat the shit out of the guy.
Yeah. I went to Harvard once.
Yeah. They kicked you out.
Saw a movie at the Brattle Cinema.
Oh, yeah, I've been to the Brattle Theater.
MASH, actually, Robert Altman.
Wow.
It was too loud.
Look at you. Well,
it was way too loud. They didn't know what they were doing.
They just wanted you out.
Yeah, it was like you had to close your ears. Something was wrong.
Oh, man.
When Hot Lips was screaming,
I thought, got hot lips. He's got to be screaming.
I thought I was going to be deaf.
Hot ears now.
Yeah. So don't go to the Brattle unless they fixed it since then. This was a long time ago.
I never had that problem over there.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm not a...
You think you're better than me?
Sensitive Susie with my ears over there.
What movie did you see there?
All of them.
Okay. That's very interesting.
The student films over there.
Kyle he knows he's a pro. You ask him a question, he says something very specific and interesting.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Makes it a really good story.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't,
It's all right.
You went there once. It was a big thing for you. I went there all the time.
You know what I mean? Like, let's talk about this guy.
Yeah. Well, R.I.P. Zack Norman. Gone too soon.
Yes. Well, he lived a good life.
Yeah. Someone who died way too soon, if that's even a thing. Eva Evans, dead at 29. She was a popular TikTok star.
Creator of Club Rat.
Whatever
that is.
Yeah. I don't know. But it sounds like she died by suicide.
Oh, gosh. Yikes. She had 300,000 followers on TikTok.
Damn.
And over 13 million likes.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh, so Club Red, it's a series that she starred in where follows an influencer who jumps back into dating after video of her breakup goes viral. It was a 5-episode series that streamed on Amazon Prime.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So she got it over to Amazon. That's awesome.
And she commented on JoJo Siwa's new look just 4 days before her death.
Damn.
So I don't know what that means, actually.
Oof.
She's thinking about JoJo Siwa's new look, but then what's going on really in her head?
Yeah.
Does she really care about the new look? That's some deep thoughts there.
Very, very.
But then she's kind of linked to the other TikToker that died recently.
Yeah, weren't they friends?
Were they?
I thought so.
Let me see. There's an eerie link between, remember Kyle Marissa Roth? We talked about it last week, I believe.
Yeah, she had been doing the blind items and reported on Diddy and then ended up being found dead. We don't know how she passed.
Right. So some fans say there's a curse because both of them died within days of each other. And let's see, they were discussing the same topic. Oh, wait, they both commented on JoJo Siwa.
Oh, wow.
And her new look.
So everybody's talking about it.
Yeah, so is it connected to JoJo somehow? Like brainwashing?
Dun, dun, dun.
Wow. Okay, and Kyle died. But she did have cancer, Kyle, right? Like stomach cancer?
Kyle did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colon cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the conspiracy?
I don't know. TikToker Kyle Marissa Roth parents saw a troubling video before she was found dead.
Okay, so what is that about?
TMZ says Kyle Marissa Roth had her parents very concerned on the day she was found dead, and it was over something they'd seen online, which was relayed to cops. According to new legal documents obtained by TMZ, Annapolis PD responded to Kyle's apartment complex on April 14th after one of her parents called 911 to request a welfare check for their daughter. This was after not hearing from her for days. Her father, Robert, told police that he'd last spoken to Kyle on April 8th, whereas her mother, Jackie, said she hadn't talked to Kyle in months. Either way, Kyle's mom said she was alarmed about a certain video that she posted on April 4th, although the exact reasoning for that is unclear. The incident report is heavily redacted, but from what we can gather, it seems her mom was incredibly worried about this video and suspected it might have had something to do with their daughter going MIA.
Is this like The Ring?
Cops got a manager to open the unit, and Kyle was found dead. No, The Ring is like me posting the O.J. Simpson article, and then 7 days later, he dies.
But what video is she's hiding it? Like she won't tell us what it is?
I guess. Hold on, let's see. I don't know if they have it listed here. There are no details in the paperwork to indicate what sort of state Kyle's body was found in or under what exact circumstances, but police note in the docs that she was beyond help. That's a weird
Beyond
description.
help.
Beyond help.
I
mean, her and me both. Am I right?
You can throw Andy Dick in there too.
Beyond help, Andy Dick.
That took you a while to get to that punchline. I could see the tire
wheel spinning. The gerbil was there. Law enforcement sources tell us the initial call to Kyle's address came in as a possible overdose, but there's no indication in the report that drugs were suspected.
She had colon cancer.
All that police say in the docs is that the case has to be taken over by the medical examiner and that an autopsy is warranted.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing here, Eva, who we were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It was not a positive comment about JoJo Siwa.
Oh.
Now that I have more details.
Brian Weaver says the curse of the comments about JoJo Siwa's look. Oh, shit. Here we go. Spell JoJo backwards. OJ Simpson.
Oh,
dead.
my God. I think we're getting close to something.
Oh, man. It said that anyone who comments on JoJo Siwa's look ends up dying by suicide, like The Happening, but instead of trees, it's caused by JoJo Siwa's look.
Yeah, because Eva said that she thought JoJo's new look was inauthentic. And she said, do you guys remember when JoJo Siwa and Tom Sandoval were on that reality show together? There's no follow-up to that, by the way. We're just reading her last words here.
Yeah.
And then, Jesus, my computer. You know when like your mouse goes crazy? That's why I'm reading this so weirdly. But anyway, I found that so they were negative comments. I made it sound like she says
Praising
though that
her. Everyone's talking shit about JoJo Siwa.
She says, you know what? I'm rooting for JoJo. I want her to succeed. It's making me sad and depressed to watch her flail.
Ooh.
Oh, so this is getting heavy.
That's not a very nice.
Maybe that did contribute in some way. I don't know.
What, that JoJo Siwa flailing is?
You said it.
You said it, pal.
I mean, I guess there's more to come because that video, we have to find out what Kyle's parents saw.
Mm-hmm.
They found this video.
Dun, dun, dun.
Maybe it was related to Diddy. Oh my God. Maybe Diddy recorded him and Carl Winslow.
And that brings us to the next story. Diddy
drama.
Save the drama for your Diddy mama.
Just won't quit.
No. There's a huge thing that came out that a lot of the artists that were on Bad Boy Records are now getting royalty adjustments. And a lot of people are saying that it's in exchange for their silence about things they've seen and heard that have gone on around Diddy's parties and events.
And no non-disclosures with those agreements.
Yes, they're pretty much built into the contract, so they had to read them all, and they were like, "Oh my God, you got to be shitting me!"
Wow.
Yeah, he came out.
He came out?
No.
Finally.
Yeah. He said he's returning his music rights to Bad Boy artists.
Okay.
And he tried to frame it as like, this is unprecedented. I am, the man. I am making sure my people get paid. And, you know, my label's catalog is going back to the people that created the music.
Yeah.
Fat chance. Because there is someone that came out and said it is complete bullshit. Let's see.
Who?
Is this the same person? Aubrey O'Day?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the one that got attention this week.
Yes. So this is the one. She's the one that came out and was like, listen, don't believe the hype.
Yeah.
Let me bring this up. So Danity Kane's Aubrey O'Day says Diddy tried to buy her silence with publishing rights. And it's not everything that Diddy was trying to say. Like, you know, he's the nicest person in the world. She said, quote, I received the publishing deal. I know what it says. I know how much money it was giving me.
So she's a singer.
Mm-hmm.
She sounds familiar. I'm not that familiar with her, though.
Yeah. She's from a group called Danity Kane.
Ah, okay.
She claimed she was going to be given $300.30.
That 30 cents is very important. It's like
It's
like the brown M&M. It's really somehow the key to everything.
Right. For a, quote, full release of all claims against Diddy and many other players. So he does this huge publicity tour last year saying, I'm giving all the money back to the artists. Everything's going back. Diddy did, Carl Winslow.
He sure did. But that is a matter for his family.
Yeah.
They want to stay private.
Nice.
In his private.
Did you say that?
Did you stick that
in that?
I'm just glad Jaleel found another party to go to.
Yeah.
I don't think I could. I can deal with Carl Winslow getting porked. I don't know about Urkel.
Yeah.
That would destroy my childhood.
But it's crazy, this story, because all you have to do, if you're that much of a scumbag and you're doing horrible things to people every fucking week, it sounds like, if not every day, you've been right there for a whole bunch of murders and shootings. People are being sexually assaulted at the workplace.
Sometimes murdered.
Yeah, people are being drugged at your parties.
I'm starting to wonder if he's not involved in Biggie's death at this point.
I think he absolutely is at this point.
And that's a future episode. We did Tupac, an entire investigation, but
yeah,
there's some smoke there.
Yeah. And so if you're going to be doing that and you become a billionaire, you better be willing to pay for everybody's silence the entire way. The fact that he went on this huge publicity tour last year saying, I'm giving all the music back to my artists so they can get the money. And it really was just a ploy to get people to release the claims against himself and other people. $300 ain't going to cut it. And I'm sure there are people who actually took it and were like, okay, this is all I'm going to get for this. She's the only one that's speaking out against it. There's been not one other person so far that publicly has talked about it.
Wow.
O'Day noted that when she was looking at the publishing deal, it said anything but I'm being made whole financially again. In fact, it asked me to not be able to have access to my own story and my experiences anymore. It asked me specifically to stay silent and never speak poorly about a human. So then I realized something really bad is coming. A source close to Diddy, 54, with knowledge of the situation, refuted O'Day's claim about everyone signing an NDA. Quote, last year when he reassigned his portion of the publishing to Bad Boy artists, an unprecedented move within the industry, in which he did not have to do. Not all artists signed an NDA, contrary to what she claims. She didn't claim that everybody signed it. She claimed that everybody got it. And so that doesn't refute that.
So that's a gotcha moment, they call it.
Yeah. He said an unprecedented move within the industry in which he did not have to do. Not all artists signed an NDA, contrary to what she claims. She didn't claim that. So you just exposed yourself. Everyone got one, though. And the people who didn't sign it obviously aren't fucking stupid.
Yeah.
In September 2023, Diddy reassigned his Bad Boy Records publishing rights back to the artists and writers. It's just doing the right thing, Diddy told Variety at the time. Yeah.
He just woke up one day and wanted to be generous.
Yeah, like Grandpa Joe, getting out of bed and dancing around.
As generous as he was with Carl Winslow. I guess he made
anus.
I guess he made Carl Winslow sign an NDA with his cock.
Oh, Diddy said, I think that we as an industry and as a people have to look in the mirror and make a shift forward. Oh, yeah? It's about evolving, leading by example, and reforming an industry that needs it in a world that needs reform. Yeah, in a world that you fucking created
You
that
know
needs
what?
reform.
You know what else needs reform?
Carl Winslow's ass.
You took it from me.
You were really going to say that?
Of course I was. I'm a hack. You know that's what I was going to say. By the way, Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Pinch poke, you owe me a Coke.
Oh, can we settle this right now?
Yes. How many people have heard the phrase pinch poke, you owe me a Coke when you have a Jinx? You say the same thing at the same time. Jinx, pinch poke, you owe me a Coke.
And
or was it just Jinx, you owe me a Coke?
when I grew up, if you said something at the same time as someone, you would say, Jinx, you owe me a Coke. And Kyle thinks it was Jinx, pinch poke, you owe me a Coke, which is a complete mouthful.
Pinch poke, you owe me a Coke.
And what kid is going to say that? It takes like
That's why it's a rhyme.
10 minutes to get through.
Pinch poke, you owe me a Coke.
But you owe me a Coke is quick, like you're out of there already.
But why Coke?
It's just the phrase.
No, it's pinch poke, you owe me a Coke. It's a rhyme.
Oh, you say it. Okay, well.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke. What is going on?
Kyle, you're wrong. That may have been the origin of it, but most people say, Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Well, that's dumb.
It's quicker. It's cleaner.
Yeah.
Not as clean as, never mind.
Carl Winslow's asshole.
Okay, so back to Aubrey.
O'Day.
What else did she have to say?
The documentary comes. Oh, so this is like these are quotes taken out of the TMZ documentary that's coming out. Well, just came out a day and a half ago.
Oh, it did on Diddy?
Yeah, it's on Tubi actually. It's TMZ.
Oh, is there a trailer or something for it?
TMZ presents the downfall of Diddy. Yeah, let's watch the trailer.
I cannot believe I didn't know about this. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
It's Diddy Mania. I get Diddy thinking about Diddy.
Hey. I get giddy thinking about this trailer. Here we go.
Diddy's bad boy behavior has gone unchecked for years. People who lived in Diddy's world are speaking to TMZ, adding to the crash of his illustrious career.
People were scared.
What did they fear?
A flat tire, being murdered. I don't know.
Based on some of these rumors, your car might blow up in your driveway.
I've seen quite a lot of things, but none with the excessive force of this right here.
And some people just aren't talking because they're afraid of retaliation from Diddy's adversaries.
Diddy does have some defenders who aren't afraid to speak out. And one of them is someone you would never, ever expect.
I'm not the type of guy to cheer for people's downfall. I think
right.
Office, or with me, or anybody else, we should be able to tell our truth.
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
Bum, bum, bum.
They act like Suge Knight is supposed to be a shock that he supports Diddy. The two probably work together to get And
the man who allegedly opened fire.
Well, they were
inside
talking
of
shit
one of
about each other
former
on
President
stage.
Donald Trump's Florida hotel several
May I
years ago,
remind you
made some
of the
wild
feud
statements to
between
law
Jerry
enforcement in his
Lawler,
interviews, saying he was
the
a sex
great
slave
wrestler,
for Sean Diddy
Jerry
calls.
Lawler
Well, now that
from
federal
Memphis,
investigators have raided two
and
of the
Andy
rapper's homes
Kaufman
and an
from
arrest and
Hollywood.
indictment in a sex trafficking
And what did we
operation
find out?
could be imminent.
It was all fake.
The man's
There you go.
comments
That's wrestling.
sound a little less crazy.
That's real life.
We'll talk about it.
Well, I heard
Welcome
Diddy
to
did some
Sidebar,
wrestling.
presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
And Carl Winslow's ass.
Okay, I'm going to talk about something that I really didn't think I would.
Who's coming?
Something that when I first heard it, I actually had no idea
That's
what
all
this
we got
was
on him
even
for
about.
now.
Okay.
More
So
to
this
come.
came up during
in Carl
multiple
Winslow's
times
ass.
during our live Q&A shows on the Law and Crime Network when we were covering
Oh my
questions
God.
on the
Okay,
Sean
on
Combs
to the
case.
next.
and a name kept coming up in connection with Combs, and I couldn't.
I thought that was you.
Nope.
I thought you were doing the transition.
I did, but
Oh.
now it worked. All right. Karen Reed. So this is the meaty part of the episode here tonight.
I was gonna make another joke. Keep going.
Not as meaty as Carl Winslow's ass.
You've been wanting to do this for a long time.
Yes.
Karen Reed.
Are the people here in the chat, are you guys familiar with the Karen Reed case?
I'm actually not.
Yeah.
So I could use a refresher.
Since you're not, I'm going to go through a refresher here of the timeline of the case because it's so interesting to me. I think it's the most interesting case out there right now.
I do know that there's a journalist named Turtle who's involved.
Turtle Boy.
Yeah. And that sounded intriguing to me, what happened to him.
Yeah. So this is all taking place in Massachusetts, south of Boston, about 30 to 40 minutes south of Boston. They're all a bunch of police officers, local cops that are hanging out. January 28th, 2022. So in Canton, Massachusetts, a group of people, including Karen Reed, John O'Keefe, and fellow Boston police officer Brian Albert, his sister-in-law Jennifer McCabe, and others, they all go out drinking at a bar in Canton on Friday night. There's a major blizzard that's rocking Massachusetts at that time. So they're all drinking and driving in the snow, like bar hopping.
Sounds safe.
Yeah. January 29th, going past midnight, members of the group leave the bar and go to Albert's home on Fairview Road. Karen Reed and John O'Keefe, who are married to each other, leave in Karen Reed's black Lexus SUV. Between 12:15 and 12:45, multiple witnesses recall a dark SUV pulling up to the home around 12:15. McCabe says she sees the vehicle pull up at 12:30 a.m. and sit there for about 15 minutes. No one comes inside, and the vehicle leaves around 12:45. According to the defense, she'd been texting with O'Keefe, and the last 4 texts were sent between 12:31 and 12:45 a.m., and they go unanswered. At 1:30 a.m., McCabe and other witnesses leave the Albert home. They say the SUV is gone, and nobody reports seeing a body in the front yard. 2:27 a.m., the defense alleges that records show McCabe's phone searched. How long to die in the cold? This would have been more than 3 hours before O'Keefe was found in the snow. Prosecutors have disputed this timeline, saying McCabe searched the phrase after he was found. But that's complete bullshit.
That was Googled. How long
to die in the snow?
To die in the snow.
Yep.
Boy, these criminals are always stupid when they do that.
Yep.
Like the guy with the kid that died in the car with the excessive heat.
Yeah.
Was Googling stuff about kids and dying in the heat.
Right. The fuck? The Google searches always get people, but for some reason, this hasn't. We'll talk more about it.
Okay.
By 6 a.m., the group they find John O'Keefe unresponsive in the snow outside of Brian Albert's house.
Not unlike the Kansas City Chiefs fans.
Yeah.
This winter that were found in the backyard.
Yeah. So pretty much what they allege is that Karen Reed was a vicious wife who hated her husband, and she ran him over in the front yard and left on purpose. So they're charging her with murder. What she says is that they did get into a fight. She left, and since he didn't come home and wasn't answering his phone, she went back to go find him, and there was no body or anything there. And they're saying that she was coming back to cover her tracks. So what she thinks is that he went in there, they got into some sort of fight and beat the shit out of him, and then threw him in the fucking front yard and let the snow just pile on him until he died. There were no pieces of tail light at the scene when they first found the body. And then hours later, they were like, oh, here's a piece of her tail light. And so there just weird shit is happening. So
were they having an affair?
She found out that he had made out with someone that they all knew.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So they had gotten into a fight weeks before, but like every married
Yeah.
family like gets into fights.
It must have been vicious though.
Yeah. Shannon's saying there were dog bites on O'Keefe, which the defense says no. Even the FBI, they had a scene reconstructionist, a federal one hired by the FBI, said injuries were not consistent with being hit by a car. So he's got like bruises on him, possible dog bites, but they weren't able to test the bites in time or something. So they can't even get DNA to see if the dog that they owned at that house was the one that killed him.
Oh, so that was just her boyfriend.
Karen Reed?
O'Keefe.
Oh, O'Keefe? Oh,
yeah,
I thought
they
they were
weren't
married.
No, they weren't actually married.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and so there's so much going on with this case. The Brian Albert is, really good friends with the people who were there and possibly committed murder together. And they are all teaming up against her. Everyone that lives in that neighborhood is a cop, pretty much, and they all have Ring doorbell cameras. The police didn't take any of the Ring doorbell camera video footage. There's zero.
Wow.
From that day.
Wow.
He sold his house like right after. I think they put the dog down right after. Like all this crazy shit.
What did the dog do?
Yeah.
Again, this reminds me of that Kansas City Chiefs case where the guy was selling his house right away.
Yeah.
After they found his friends dead in the yard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they're saying that she admitted to murder and she didn't. All she said was, "Oh, did I hit him?" Like she didn't know. Like she found out he was dead and she was like hysterically screaming and crying. And so they're using that against her. Like, "Oh, you admitted to it."
She's like, "I thought it was a speed bump."
Oh, the dog was moved out of the jurisdiction. Yeah, conveniently, they have no video footage from the scene when they could have easily gotten it,
which is odd.
Yeah. The prosecutor didn't come out and tell the grand jury that he is good friends with all the people. He ended up getting a text from the people who were at the scene, and they were like, "We need to get," when Karen Reed was charged, the day she was charged, they texted him saying like, "We need to get you a gift." And he's like, "Don't get me a gift, get something for my wife." And they think it's so hilarious that they're prosecuting this woman.
Yeah.
And nobody's disclosing that they all know each other.
Yeah, that's weird. So what are people so divided on with this case? Obviously, a lot of people think she didn't do it, right?
A lot of people. Turtle Boy came out, and he's a local blogger in Boston who's now going like national.
And he's called Turtle Boy because he looks like a turtle?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea. They what was I saying?
Turtle Boy.
He was asking about a turtle.
Turtle Boy.
Yeah, so he's getting huge attention because he was saying that this is a fucking conspiracy and the police are covering up the fact that they murdered one of their own.
The police did it.
Yeah.
In his eyes.
Yes.
Why did they do it?
Because they think they got into a fight.
Oh, okay.
At the home, because Karen Reed wasn't at the house.
What's the other guy's name that was with them?
Brian Albert and
that night?
Jennifer McCabe.
Oh, both of them were there. That's his wife, Jennifer?
Yeah.
And then Brian Albert, you said?
Yeah. Eggy Kings is saying he was beaten and left to die in the cold. There's a cover-up, which I agree with.
Okay, so Brian was involved then as the conspiracy. And then his buddies from the force covered up for him.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Karen Reed.
This all happened at a police officer's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend. Her then boyfriend.
That's not his house. They went to another police officer's house.
Oh, got it.
And he went inside and she didn't.
I see.
And they said that he never came inside, which is complete bullshit.
Oh, and she left.
Yeah.
But then she came back.
She came back to find him
see
because he wasn't answering his phone. Yeah.
But then the police claim that he was outside dead.
Why would she go back?
Run over
killed him
by her SUV? Mm-hmm. Wait, but then so he was run over by the SUV.
His injuries were inconsistent with being run over by an SUV, is what the FBI said.
They didn't find tire marks.
There were tire marks near the body, I guess, but I don't know. They didn't. It was all in the snow.
Yeah. That seems like an easy thing to prove, whether he was run over or not.
Well, federally, they said he wasn't, but they're still prosecuting.
So then what happened to him then if he wasn't run over?
He had dog bites and was beaten.
I
Like,
see.
He had like bruises all over.
Okay, there's a lot going on in this case.
Yeah.
I'm
so
processing.
It's a party of police officers
yeah.
at a house.
Got it.
She gets into a fight with John. She leaves him there,
Yep.
and then is concerned that he's not picking up his phone. So she goes back to check on him.
Says Turtle Boy.
Yes.
Because there's some versions where she was mad, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, and ran him over.
Yeah.
Those are the two main theories, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Let's see.
And so the cop, wait, hold on though. The cop, yeah, all right. I'm trying to figure out, because then if they're covering up for their buddy that killed him, where's the loyalty to O'Keefe then? He's a cop too.
Dead men tell no tales. You got to take care of the people who are alive.
Yeah, but you also have to take care of the dead.
You think the cops give a fuck about people who die?
We were just
when they're the ones that kill them.
We were just talking about this on the Robert Durst podcast episode, where the one nice thing he did for his best friend Susan Berman after he shot her in the back of the head, he made sure that her body was found.
Yeah.
He didn't want her to lie there.
Right.
Well, so according to Robert Durst, you do take care of the dead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just pointing out the contradictions here.
Yeah.
The cops took care of one cop, but not the dead cop.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're taking care of multiple cops because there's a bunch of cops that were in there.
Because there were probably witnesses to the murder if Brian did it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there another theory where maybe more than one person killed him? Like multiple cops got together? Like Murder on the Orient Express?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think there was a fight in the house, yeah.
But over what now is another good question. Did O'Keefe know something? Was he going to expose the Boston PD or something?
Could be.
You know, like, I'm going to squeal on you. I'm going to tell everyone about the illegal activity y'all are doing.
Yeah. Who knows? But he was out in the yard, and yeah, she did find him, and she tried to perform CPR on him. And so she had his blood on her face.
Oof, CPR.
Yeah. When they showed up.
Oh my God. And this is in the dead cold?
Yeah.
Of the dead of winter?
Yeah, so he had been outside there for over 5 hours if it happened right when she left.
And the Google that was from Brian?
But here's the thing to me. If you're expecting him to come inside to the house where everybody already is, they have a fight, wouldn't they be calling him to be like, hey, you okay?
Of course.
Yeah, so
unless
that to me is the biggest thing.
Unless they thought he went with Karen. That he left with Karen, and that's why he didn't come into the house.
Yeah, but they wouldn't text him to be like, everything all right? You guys good?
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Do you text everybody all the time when you're drunk? Actually, you kind of do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so here, we're going to go to the defense's opening statement and just kind of watch it and comment here.
Okay. Quick question, though, before we get to that.
Yeah.
It was Brian who did that Google search?
No, it was Jennifer McCabe.
Well, same difference, right?
It's
they're working
people
together.
inside the house.
Yeah.
Oh, they said that Shannon's saying they weren't expecting them, wasn't sure if he was coming to the house. But then, if you have a dead body in your front yard, why don't you just pull up the Ring camera then?
They had a Ring camera?
Everybody had a Ring camera.
Well,
yeah.
Well, what did they say about that then? Why? How did they explain that?
They didn't. They haven't.
All
So
right.
That's why.
Well,
yeah, we got to see here. Opening statements.
And that means that somebody else did. Karen Reed was framed. Her car never struck John O'Keefe. She did not cause his death. And that means that somebody else did. You will learn that it was no accident that John O'Keefe was found dead on the front lawn of 34 Fairview Road in Canton on January 29th of 2022.
Oh, nothing. I just saw David Mendez says you seem like you're angry at each other.
Oh, yeah. So mad at each other. As angry as Diddy is at Carl Winslow's ass.
You will learn that at that address lived a well-known and well-connected law enforcement family in Canton, the Alberts. Because the Alberts were involved, and because they had close connections to the investigators in this case, Karen Reed was framed for a murder she did not commit. Good morning again, ladies and gentlemen. As I previously told you, my name is David Yannetti. I'm an attorney with an office in Boston. Together with attorneys Alan Jackson and Elizabeth Little, it is truly my privilege and my honor to represent Karen Reed during this trial. From a very early juncture in this case, you will question the Commonwealth's theory of the case. You will question the quality of the Commonwealth's evidence. You will question the veracity of the Commonwealth's witnesses. And you will question their shoddy and biased investigation, a faulty investigation that led to Karen Reed sitting here today. You will learn, in short, that the police did no real investigation of this case, and you will question why. You'll question why the investigators had such tunnel vision. You will question why they focused solely on Karen Reed, someone with no ties to the Canton Police Department, as opposed to the well-known and well-connected Albert family of Canton, a family that was never treated as suspects by the investigators in this case. Boston police officer John O'Keefe was found mortally injured on Brian Albert's front lawn. His body was in full view and almost right below Brian Albert's bedroom window on his front lawn. He was found wearing only one sneaker. You'll learn that Brian Albert was a Boston police officer as well, and that he was a trained first responder. Brian Albert was notified that another police officer was injured and unresponsive on his front lawn, and Brian Albert did nothing. His sister-in-law, Jennifer McCabe, and other civilians were on his property that morning after John O'Keefe's body was found. Police, EMTs, firefighters, police cruisers, an ambulance, fire truck, lights flashing, and first responder Brian Albert never came out of his house. Equally important for you will be the fact that the lead homicide investigators never went inside the Albert home that morning. You'll learn that Brian Albert's brother, Kevin Albert, is a Canton police officer. It was obvious very early on that the Canton police should not be investigating the death of a man found on the property of the brother of a Canton police officer. So it was decided just about from the start that the Massachusetts State Police should take complete control of this investigation because the Canton police were conflicted out. Now, that sounded good at the time, but you'll learn that two major problems arose. First, despite the fact that they obviously had a conflict of interest, the evidence will show that the Canton police still had their hands in this investigation. You will find it astounding, but Canton police officer Kevin Albert, the reason for the conflict of interest in the first place, was continually updated about the status of this investigation while it was going on. Second, and equally troubling, is that the lead state police detective who was assigned to this case was a man named Michael Proctor. Michael Proctor, you will learn, is one of the many people in Canton with deep ties to the Albert family. Michael Proctor's own mother refers to the Alberts as the Proctor's second family. His own sister's wedding, Michael Proctor was in the wedding party with Colin Albert. And he sat at the head table of that wedding with members of the Albert family. That's the man who was chosen to lead the investigation into the suspicious death on the property of Brian Albert. That's the man who gave updates to Canton police officer Kevin Albert while the state police were supposed to be investigating what had occurred at his brother Brian Albert's house. You'll learn that right from the jump, Michael Proctor predetermined the outcome of this case. Never stepped foot inside the Albert home on January 29th, 2022. Never checked out whether there were any signs of struggle inside that home. He never called for crime scene technicians and other specialists to look for blood or other trace evidence within the home. He never asked Brian Albert for permission to go in the home and take a look around. Michael Proctor never applied for a search warrant to go in that home. Instead, he focused immediately and exclusively on Karen Reed, the outsider. You will learn that no one in the Proctor family has ever called the Reed family their second family. No one in the Proctor family had been in a wedding party with anyone from the Reed family.
I love when you have to make like such a ridiculous point to like really drive it home for the jury. Nobody's calling her their second family.
the Proctors.
Yeah. Doctoring Proctors here.
Karen Reed was a convenient outsider. She was most definitely not from Canton. So how did Michael Proctor feel about her? How did he treat somebody he was investigating at a point in time when he should have been keeping an open mind?
Nothing.
Focusing on obtaining all possible evidence so that he didn't miss anything? Well, you will learn that on the very day that John O'Keefe was found dead on Brian Albert's lawn, Michael Proctor was texting with his high school buddies about this supposedly secret investigation using his personal cell phone. He was revealing information about this investigation to his friends, assuming that nobody would ever find out what he was doing and what he was saying. And he was revealing his true thoughts about Karen Reed to his friends, not what he put in his sanitized police reports, his true feelings to his friends whom he trusted, and in text messages that he never thought would come into the hands of the defense in this case. Lead investigator Trooper Michael Proctor, right from the start, called Karen Reed names you would reserve only for your worst enemies. He told his friends that he hoped that she would kill herself.
Damn.
He told his friends that he had seized her cell phone. And you will learn that he knew he shouldn't have been accessing any content on her cell phone because he knew there would likely be attorney-client communications on between Karen and me at that time.
Wow.
He knew that he was supposed to wait for a search warrant or other permission from a judge in order to go through that phone. But you'll learn that he went through the phone anyway, without permission. And you'll know that he did because he told his high school buddies that he was searching her phone for nude photos of Karen Reed.
Searching for nudes on her phone without a search warrant. How?
And what did that have to do with the case?
This is fucking crazy. I don't know. And he's calling her like a cunt and stuff on, I mean, Jesus, I just threw that out on a lie.
Yeah, but you're not saying that.
Yeah, I know, but still the word makes some people cringe. Yeah, he's like saying all these things. He hopes she kills herself.
I'll see you next Tuesday.
Yeah, there we go.
during our live stream.
Oh man, yeah. And then searching for nudes. So this is something that they haven't even brought up in all the pretrial meetings and hearings and stuff like that. So he knew he was coming out swinging in the first 10 minutes of this.
Yeah.
Unreal.
And what's your theory on the nudes then?
I think he's just a sicko.
Yeah, he just wanted to see her naked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
And he was disappointed he hadn't found any yet. That is the professional and unbiased investigator who was chosen to lead the investigation into the death of John O'Keefe. You will learn that one of Michael Proctor's high school friends commented to him that with a dead body on the front lawn, the homeowner in this case is surely going to catch a lot of grief. And do you know what Michael Proctor's response to that was? One word. Nope.
Wow.
And he explained why. Michael Proctor assured his buddies that the homeowner would not catch a lot of grief because, quote, the homeowner's a Boston cop too.
Oh!
End quote. That one sentence, ladies and gentlemen, in Michael Proctor's own words, will explain a lot to you about how this investigation was conducted. You will be able to evaluate whether Trooper Michael Proctor treated Brian Albert and his family differently because of who they are and their relationships between his family and theirs. You will evaluate whether this investigation was on the up and up. You will decide, as a result, how valuable or worthless the prosecution's DNA evidence is or is not, in light of who controlled that evidence. You will learn that Michael Proctor's fingerprints are figuratively all over this case. His fingerprints are all over the Commonwealth's evidence. You will learn that Michael Proctor showed up at Karen Reed's parents' house in Dayton to interview her during the afternoon of January 29th, only hours after John O'Keefe's body was found dead on Brian Albert's front lawn. You'll learn that Michael Proctor had her Lexus SUV towed from her parents' home. But you'll also learn that he wrote a search warrant in which he falsified the time that he took that SUV. He swore under oath that the vehicle wasn't towed until 5:30 p.m. But you'll learn that we obtained surveillance footage that he didn't know we would get. And that surveillance footage exposed that Michael Proctor's words in that sworn affidavit were a lie. Michael Proctor had that vehicle for about 90 minutes before he claimed to have taken it. And folks, you will learn that the timing is important, very important. Because when John O'Keefe was first found on Brian Albert's front lawn, the police thoroughly searched that yard for potential evidence. And it wasn't just one officer, or two, or three. There were at least 4 officers that searched that front lawn. And that morning was the beginning of a snowstorm, but there wasn't yet much snow on the ground when they were searching that lawn. It was light out by the time they did the search, and it was getting lighter. And during that thorough search of Brian Albert's front lawn, the number of pieces of tail light that were found by a minimum of 4 officers looking for evidence was 0.
Oh, he even did it.
It was only later in the day when the snow was really starting to accumulate that the police miraculously started to find pieces of taillight on the property. The police only started to find pieces of taillight after Michael Proctor had seized Karen Reed's car. They only started to find pieces of taillight after Michael Proctor had possession of her taillight.
Bum, bum, bum.
You'll learn that Trooper Michael Proctor then kept going back to the Albert residence after that day, and he claims to have kept finding pieces of taillight on multiple occasions on multiple different days. Yeah. And in addition, a good week after John O'Keefe's death, Canton Police Chief Kenneth Berkowitz, an older officer on the brink of retirement with probably not the best eyesight, he supposedly was driving, happened to be driving past Brian Albert's house. And by the way, Brian Albert is someone with whom Chief Berkowitz is also good friends. And this older man allegedly spotted yet another piece of taillight from his moving vehicle. This was yet another piece of taillight that was somehow missed by the trained specialists who had previously and thoroughly searched the property. Another piece of taillight that Proctor supposedly missed in the many times he went back to the property. Michael Proctor claims that he kept finding pieces of taillight right up until February 18th of 2022, which was nearly 3 weeks after John O'Keefe was found dead on Brian Albert's home. You will learn that there is no competent evidence that Karen Reed's taillight shattered at Brian Albert's property in the early morning hours of January 29th of 2020.
Yeah, so this taillight business, they couldn't find any pieces of it until after they get her car towed, and then all of a sudden, pick, and then just toss them right on the ground there and say that she's guilty.
Wow.
But it just goes back to, why would there not be any audio or any video from all these Ring cameras that were there, even if it was out of eye shot, even taillights from the road changing the color of the camera will make it turn on.
Yeah.
So it's just very interesting. Even if they weren't fully expecting them, wouldn't they hear them screaming at each other? Wouldn't they hear a car backing up like, coming to a stop, and then boom?
Yeah,
There was none of that.
You would hear someone getting run over and probably screaming.
Yeah.
I don't care how cold it is out there or how drunk you are.
Yeah.
You would hear some noise.
Yeah. We're going to do a deep dive into the entire opening statement, but we'll go to the end here, the opening statement.
Okay.
With Karen and another couple for months into the future. And you'll see video of how John and Karen were interacting on the night in question. You'll see for yourself how they looked at each other from the video at the waterfall that night. Nobody who saw them that night saw anything wrong. There was nothing wrong. I mean, like any couples, occasionally they would bicker or disagree, but you will hear zero evidence of any domestic violence in that home whatsoever. John never raised a hand in anger toward Karen, and Karen never raised a hand in anger toward John. That simply wasn't who they are. You will conclude the notion that Karen Reed chose the start of a snowstorm to suddenly become violent out of the blue for the first time and intentionally kill her boyfriend by hitting him with her car and leaving him there with a house full of people inside is patently ridiculous. You will also learn that what's not ridiculous is that someone, not Karen Reed, ambushed John O'Keefe. Somebody probably didn't mean to kill him, but somebody went too far. You'll learn that Trooper Proctor failed to investigate motives that other people had to harm John O'Keefe. You'll learn that Proctor failed to investigate anything or anyone who was in the Albert residence that night. You'll learn that he failed to investigate the antagonistic relationship between members of the Albert family and John O'Keefe. You'll learn that apparently nobody investigates the Albert family of Canton. Remember, on day one, Trooper Proctor was asked whether the homeowner, Brian Albert, would catch a lot of grief. And Trooper Proctor himself said it. Nope. Homeowner's a Boston cop too. So folks, the trial is now about to start, and the witnesses are about to start testifying. On behalf of Karen Reed, I ask that you do two things during this trial. First, I ask that you pay attention to all of the evidence. The way trials work, the prosecution gets to present its case first. They conduct their direct examinations first. So we respectfully ask that you wait for us. We will get to cross-examine their witnesses, and you will find that cross-examination is the key that unlocks the truth. Wait for us. You'll be glad that you did. Second, I ask that you keep your eye on the ball. You have one job and one job only to do during this trial, and that job, quite frankly, is not to solve this case. Your only job during this trial is to determine whether the Commonwealth, the prosecution, has proven to you each and every element of the crimes they have charged, beyond a reasonable doubt, to a moral certainty. The prosecution will fail to prove this case to a moral certainty. They will fail to prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt. You will reasonably doubt their case because their theory of the case does not make sense. You will reasonably doubt their case because Karen Reed was framed, and the evidence shows that, despite the fact that the police never ever investigated that angle of this case at all. Because the prosecution will not prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt to a moral certainty, we will stand before you again at the end of this trial and ask that you find Karen Reed not guilty.
Yeah, so that's incredibly powerful stuff.
There's some debate going on.
Yeah, thank God you guys aren't on the jury, to be honest. His voice is too soothing for you. You better hope you're not going up against a murder charge and need a lawyer to do an opening statement.
Some people are saying it's boring, and then Shannon said, it's not.
Yeah.
You need to read up on the case.
Nice.
Wink, wink, read.
Hey. It's so crazy that
his voice is kind of droning.
I don't give a shit. It's listen to what he's saying, not how he's saying it. It's incredible that there's an actual police cover-up. There's an actual police cover-up happening, and people are like, oh, his voice is too soothing. Thank God you're not on the jury. Because if you needed someone like this, they would be doing a great job. The fact that he uncovered that the police are texting each other, I'm not going to get in trouble because I'm a Boston cop. The fact that he's insulting the person that they're putting up. What?
No,
I'm saying fast forward me.
No, I'm snapping like like we're at a poetry.
I thought you were trying to change the channel.
Oh, that actually. Let me like the movie Click.
Yeah.
Wait, how do I fast forward?
It's
so I was snapping like beat poetry.
Yeah,
I don't know how to snap.
The police are saying they hope this woman kills herself. This is absolutely insane. If you think that's boring?
No, Kyle.
Go find somebody else.
They think no. What's his name? What's that guy's name?
I don't know. I think it's 3 people on the same account.
What's the guy's name?
I don't know. Printar Babu over here. Then we got Tiff Marzi.
No. The lawyer.
Oh, I don't know. Yannetti.
Mr. Boring Head.
Yeah.
They find him boring.
Yeah.
His voice is too soothing. Blah blah blah. They love you. They love the case. Actually,
I don't know about that.
They are shit talking the case too.
Yeah, it is.
I agree with you. It's a fascinating case.
Yeah, and we are probably seeing the first time that a lawyer went that hard against the police since probably 1994.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm a bored troll. They just said.
No, but this is what they want.
Yeah.
They want to hear you react to the bored trolls.
Yeah,
you are on fire.
Yeah.
Dude, I haven't seen you this awake since September
11th, 2001. Yes, everyone's homework should be to read up on this case. Shannon is right.
Since we saw the Pixies, you haven't been this fired up.
Yeah. So we could be seeing unfold in front of our very eyes an actual police cover-up that is being exposed, and that I am so appreciative of.
Oh my
God.
God.
But here's the thing. Now you're going up against an entire prosecution team and a whole bunch of witnesses that are the police, and the police are used to lying under oath all the time.
Yeah.
So I think they're ready for anything. I don't know if they were actually ready for the fact that they knew that police officer said all those things on his phone.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if they probably were, but if they weren't, imagine hearing that like during the opening statement that they know that he was trying to search for nudes on her phone.
The nude photos, that it was wild.
And that he wants her to kill herself.
Yeah, that is explosive.
Like, why do you feel that strongly about this woman? That crazy.
And I've never heard someone so calm when they're talking about nude photos.
Yeah. He went to search for her nudes. Next on NPR.
I found actually a strong supporter of yours.
This bombshell case.
He just messaged me. AI Andy Rooney said he's a huge fan of you and the case.
I don't say this often, but thank you.
So you do have some supporters out there.
Fuck off. We were going to talk about it. Just let us listen to it for
And
a little bit.
the part that's heartbreaking is you've been wanting to talk about this for weeks.
Oh, my God.
And then we bumped it every week.
Yeah. And so I'm so ready, but I needed to give people a little background here. And then that is such a bombshell opening statement. We didn't even get to watch all of it.
Oh, my. Wow. We saw a lot of it.
Yeah. We saw about 15 minutes out of 40.
I think it warrants one of these, too.
We have breaking news.
Breaking news is that this case is interesting.
Hey!
And that you should care about it.
News to 3 people here. This is a landmark, insane case that is going to be so entertaining to watch. I'm going to be doing more videos on it. I haven't been able to get live yet. We've had some doctor's appointments this week. Almost had my baby today, but it's taken a little bit longer than we thought. So that's going to be this week. And then after this week, I'll be home with the baby and then be able to do some more deep dives on this.
Yes, of course. You can.
I'm going to slow down the opening statement and play it for 6 hours and let him talk.
It actually gives me an idea
this
for a new channel. It's going to be called ASMR Opening Statements.
Yeah, not guilty.
Oh, man, that was... Here's the problem.
Yeah.
It was explosive stuff he was saying. But if you weren't listening to the words...
Which people weren't!
You know... then it's sleepy time.
Yeah, it's like David Allen Boucher on Mixed Magic 108.
He was looking up nude photos in the phone.
I'm Casey Kasem. Why did my head get frozen? Why did my body get stolen by my ex-wife?
Oh, boy.
Here in the top 40 countdown.
Zoink,
Scoob! My body's gone! Future episode.
Oh, absolutely. There's another fascinating case.
Yeah.
The traveling show of Casey Kasem's corpse.
Yeah.
It was a jet setter.
Ends up somewhere in Norway now.
Yeah.
But more on that trial. There's going to be much more. And yeah.
Yeah. If you thought that guy was slow, wait till you see Turtle Boy.
Turtle very slow. Is that turtle? All right. So
you did great, kid.
Oh, thanks. On to the next. We got a hotel fire, huh?
Really?
I guess so.
What hotel?
Not the Hotel Motel Holiday Inn. It is the historic hotel from The Shining.
Ooh, I believe this is in Colorado.
Oregon.
Oh, it is Oregon?
Yeah.
Wow.
It reopens after a fire. Timberline Lodge, the historic Oregon hotel featured in Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, reopened to guests on Sunday just days after a fire erupted and forced an evacuation.
You know, some say that hotel is haunted.
Ooh. A fire broke out before 9:30 p.m. Thursday in the attic of the Timberline. The hell was going on up there? Probably some bad electrical or something.
If that's what you want to call Jack Nicholson swinging an axe.
There hasn't been a fire here in 25 years. The fire spokesperson confirmed that no one was injured and that the fire had been contained to the attic and the roof. At the same time, the fire department confirmed on X that the blaze was declared to be under control. Roughly a half hour later, the fire was out. So, yeah.
So nobody was injured or...
Nobody injured. The insurance paid for it. Open again. Everything's all good in the hood. But that
I
would
like
be
that.
a crazy thing if the whole thing went down. That'd be a tragedy.
Oh yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're lucky that didn't happen. Wait, but there is one in Colorado.
Ooh.
What's this hotel?
What the f is going on?
What's going on here? Are there two? Can anyone help me out with this?
Timberline Lodge.
The movie only had one. Oh, maybe it's where Scatman Crothers was staying or something. I don't know.
Shining.
The ghost did it.
The building was used as the exterior of the Overlook Hotel.
Oh, the exterior. So then
Yeah.
the interior was probably the other one.
I don't know.
Huh.
The hotel requested not to depict room number 217 for fear of guests not wanting to stay there. What? So Kubrick used the number 237 in his film. I would want to stay in the room.
Absolutely. Would you do it by yourself?
Yeah, of course. I don't believe in ghosts. That shit ain't real, bro.
Even when you're by yourself in an old cabin in the woods?
Nope.
Really?
I don't believe in ghosts in a cabin in the woods. I believe in an actual real human being waiting outside.
See, that's where you're interesting to me. Because your favorite horror movie is Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Which is about dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Very fantasy, almost ghost-like. And yet my favorites are Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees, which are more down to earth and human.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying.
Sure.
But yet you find Freddy scarier than them. Correct?
Yes, way scarier.
Do you see the contradictions here?
No.
Okay. Never mind.
The movies are scarier. The idea of them outside of the movie.
Okay, since you don't believe in ghosts or you probably don't believe in urban legends and all that?
No.
Okay, so would you go into the bathroom, shut the door, turn the lights off, and say Bloody Mary 3 times?
I used to do that when I was a kid. Little kid.
And you weren't scared?
No.
See, I won't even do it.
Right now, you won't even do it?
I don't believe in the devil, but I fear him.
Yeah.
You know, like Usual Suspects.
Gabriel's saying, I'm much more scared of humans than ghosts. Honestly, ghosts existing sucks. I hope people don't suffer like that. Yeah, can you imagine in eternity?
That's a good way to look at it, I suppose.
Kyle just wants the gross bath lady to come on him in the middle of the night. Yeah, that's why. Tub lady. I agree with Aggie here. The Strangers movie is scary. That is one of the most terrifying things. And we've talked about that.
Well, I always say the scariest thing to me is the home invasion.
Yeah.
So the
like
Strangers,
Brian Koberger, the Idaho 4 case.
Yes.
Just randomly doesn't even know them, breaks in, kills 4 people, and just takes off. Oh God, that is terrifying.
It's terrifying. And the Gainesville Ripper, just showing up and killing people in their sleep.
Oh God.
And the movie Funny Games comes to mind. That's terrifying.
I haven't seen that.
Oof.
What's that about?
That's a home invasion.
Oh.
And it is relentless. It makes Lars von Trier look like Disney.
Ah. Nice. Sandy Cheeks, one of the many profiles of the same person, says, my favorite horror movie is Ernest Scared Stupid.
You know, I almost agree with that.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite, I don't know what, but it's one of my favorites.
The dancing at the end, all you need is love to get rid of the trolls.
Yeah.
Hey.
That is a great movie. Oh, yeah. How do we get rid of the trolls? Yeah.
It's not milk, it's love.
To be fair, though, I'm not sure we should call them trolls because they thought that guy was boring.
Yeah.
They're just being honest. This is a free forum.
I don't kowtow to trolls.
Okay.
Although I did fast forward and just watch the ending. But it's very interesting. Anyway.
Well, okay. We're glad that the Shining Hotel didn't burn completely down.
Yeah. And that leads us to the every weekly segment. Of the week.
And we're going back to the opening testimony.
Yeah.
Her statement.
In slow motion. Slow motion for me. No, this one, Succession star Brian Cox is in trouble today. I don't know if you've heard about this, Alejandro.
I have not. Actually, I have.
He slammed the Bible as one of the worst books ever.
Whoa.
Whoa, huge hot take.
That is a hot take.
That's hotter than the attic at the Shining Hotel.
That's so hot, it's like it comes from the devil himself.
Whoa.
We have a clip of him on this podcast.
Okay.
And by the way, this guy talks, Brian Cox. I didn't know he had so much to say. This is really fascinating to me.
Oh, yeah?
Because most people don't have much to say.
Right.
Especially actors. No, the other one. There's
Oh,
another
okay.
clip before that.
Like,
But
I
he's
thought it was-
sitting there.
Oh,
and
it's empty.
he's got the whole world figured out.
The podcast clip is empty.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, you can summarize it while I look for it.
Yeah. Yeah, the Independent says Brian Cox has slammed the Bible as one of the worst books ever, arguing that the religious text is a collection of propaganda and lies. Yeah, I don't know if that's such a hot take. It's, getting people to believe in a set of rules and conditioning them that someone in the sky is staring at everything they do, and if they mess up, then they're going to hell.
Yeah.
Not my bag, but I get why some
Not
people,
my bag, baby.
I get why some people love it.
Okay, there's the actual link.
Okay.
I mean, it's really it's like a novel.
Yeah.
The Bible.
It's a series of novels.
Yeah, it's like the Green Mile series.
Asked whether he felt organized religion had impeded human progress, Cox responded, "Oh, considerably, yes. I think religion does hold us back because of its belief systems, which are outside ourselves."
You got to hear him say it, though.
Yeah.
Did you find that new link?
I didn't find it.
It says it's under new clip.
Oh, here we go.
So this is what he's going to tell you when you're at a party with him around the punch bowl.
Super fun.
Do you think that religion holds us back?
Oh, considerably, yes. It's belief systems which are outside ourselves. They're not dealing with who we are. We're dealing, well, if God says this and God does that, and you go, well, what is God? We've created that idea of God, and we've created it as a control issue. And it's also a patriarchal issue.
Which is exactly where it started, right?
Yeah, and that's how it started, and it's essentially patriarchal.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't given enough scope to the matriarchy, and I think we need to move matriarchally. We have to.
Oh, so he's pro woman in this take. So a lot of people are gonna get mad, but then how mad can you get when you're saying that women should be put in front?
Go more towards a matriarchy, because the mothering thing is the thing which is the real conditioning of our lives. Our fathers don't condition us; they're too bloody selfish. But our mothers have to, because they have an umbilical. That's what
You almost had me.
what the umbilical cord is about. They have, even though it's cut away, there's an umbilical relationship to your child, and then
Yeah, but that's connected to the placenta. It's not. I always thought the umbilical cord, until I was about to have a kid, I thought the umbilical cord was attached to the mother. Then it was like going. It's just the placenta that comes out with them. They're attached to the placenta. I had no idea. I also thought babies were inside the placenta. I learned a lot.
You learned how babies are made as well?
Yeah, exactly.
women have that. Men do not have that. They're just sperm banks, movable sperm banks to walk around and come and go, oh, yeah, well, yeah, actually, no, don't go with that for a bit. And then you move on. Women don't do that.
How do we get to a more patriarchal society?
Wait.
Well, we do, because we have to honor them, and we have to give them their place. And we're resistant to that. Because, it's Adam and Eve. Eve is, the propaganda goes right the way back. The Bible is one of the worst books ever, for me, from my point of view, because it starts with the idea that Adam's rib, that out of Adam's rib, this woman was created, and they'll believe it.
Sure.
And he says we have to put women in their place. Did he just say that? We have to have a place for them.
Yes.
Yeah, there is.
On the other side of a slap. Oh boy, let's see what he had to say in adaptation.
Oh well, yeah. So adaptation, I thought they were exaggerating with his character, but I think it was a documentary.
Yeah.
But seriously, this scene in adaptation is one of my favorites, where he plays Robert McKee, the screenwriter. And this is a seminar for screenwriting.
Okay.
Yes. Sir, what if a writer is attempting to create a story where nothing much happens, where people don't change, they don't have any epiphanies, they struggle and are frustrated and nothing is resolved? More a reflection of the real world.
The real world?
Yes, sir.
The real fucking world. First of all, you write a screenplay without conflict or crisis, you'll bore your audience to tears. Secondly, nothing happens in the world?
Bore your audience to tears?
Yeah.
We know something about that.
Oh, boy.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
That was me.
People are murdered every day. There's genocide, war, corruption. Every fucking day, somewhere in the world, somebody sacrifices his life to save somebody else. Every fucking day, someone somewhere takes a conscious decision to destroy someone else. People find love. People lose it. For Christ's sake, a child watches a mother beaten to death on the steps of a church. Someone goes hungry. Somebody else betrays his best friend for a woman. If you can't find that stuff in life, then you, my friend, don't know crap about life. And why the fuck are you wasting my 2 precious hours with your movie? I don't have any use for it. I don't have any bloody use for it.
I didn't know our viewers were going to have a voice here today.
Okay, thanks.
Full circle. Wow. Okay, thanks. Oh, that's incredible.
You could also turn that on the haters today and say, well, that was not a boring opening statement.
Yeah.
It was exciting. It was life.
Oh, fuck you.
You don't know dick about life if you thought that was boring.
Oh, now they're saying they love us. They got to go to bed.
People look up nude photos.
Yeah.
They try to frame people.
Yeah.
What is boring about that?
Nothing. Oh, so that was this week's of the week.
And what did we learn this week? We learned that
it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So I'm going to start talking like this and talking about absolutely nothing, everybody.
Yeah, we learned that Diddy is still in hot water.
Yeah. It's like a boiling frog. He was in cold water and now they're heating it up and he doesn't even know how fucked he is at this point. So, yeah, interesting.
And we learned that Karen Reed might be innocent.
Whoa.
And that is from your neck of the woods. So I totally get why this is like your trial.
Yeah, it's huge. It should be everybody's trial because, you know, the police could fuck you over someday too.
I had the Halloween killer in my backyard. You got this in your backyard.
Yes, that is correct. Well, we love you guys. Thank you so much for coming out.
We do.
Tuesday night.
We really do love each and every one of you.
Every single one.
And like Ernest, we're going to kiss the trolls.
We're going to love them.
Mwah.
And pour some milk all over them.
Ew.
Ew.
And quick announcement.
Yes.
We have a lot of planned things for the Patreon.
Yes.
If it seems like it's quiet, you're crazy. No, it's because it has been a little bit this month, but you got to understand, we got things that we've written all the scripts out and gathered all the clips.
Yes.
Just the schedules were a little crazy this month. And so in May, we're going to make up for lost time. So a lot of fun stuff coming up.
A lot.
On the Patreon.
Yes.
And then that being said, let's take the content part of it away. We're just so grateful for anyone that is on the Patreon because we put a lot of work into everything related to death and entertainment, including this live show.
Yes.
And including the actual podcast episodes and all of the above. So your support actually means everything to us.
Yes. And if you're ever visiting in LA, starting this next month in May, the Death in Entertainment walking tour around the Hollywood Walk of Fame is coming. We have a bunch of locations where people were either murdered or died right here in Hollywood.
It's
And
actually very exciting.
it'll be an hour, mile and a half little saunter where we stop at a number of spots where very famous people have been involved or were killed in the area.
Yes, our tour is roughly 3,000 steps.
Yeah.
Mile and a half.
1.5 miles.
So you're going to get exercise, but you're also going to get exercise.
Yeah. And it's literally going to be me and Alejandro doing it.
Of the
at least to
mind.
start.
Yes. You'll get exercise of the mind.
Yes.
Because
the mind and body.
We're going to blow your minds away. Should I give a teaser of something they might see on our tour?
Sure.
Or no? Should I?
Yeah, do it.
Okay. If you come to our walking tour this summer, you are going to see the infamous house where Ashton Kutcher thought he saw red wine.
Yes.
That is all I'm going to say.
But was really the Hollywood Ripper. And he called Danny Masterson outside of that very house.
Right. We'll
to
show
figure
you
out what to do.
We'll show you the house, and then we'll show you the spot where the car was parked, where he made the frantic phone calls to his agent and Danny Masterson.
Yeah. And that house is actually not on any other tour that is in Hollywood right now. So it'll be the only place you'll be able to find that house, unless you just look up the address and go.
Hey, don't give them ideas. What are you, nuts?
Yeah, but it's gonna be good. We have the scripts already ready to go, and as soon as my little guy is born, we'll be off and running there.
Yes.
So
or walking.
Or walking. More like walking. All right, everybody. We love you. Thank you so much. And until next week.
Don't go dying on us.
Bye-bye, everybody.